Hey guys, it's your boy Nutters. I'm here today doing a quick unboxing and going to give you guys a review of the brand new, not yet released Thrustmaster Eswap Pro Controller. Essentially, I've been sent this by Thrustmaster to have a little look at it, have a bit of a play with it, see what I think of it. This is not just a controller for your pro gamers, this is a controller for anyone, whether you're a ranked gamer, whether you don't even play competitively, but this can help you get the best out of your game. So, first off, we're going to get into this. We're going to have a quick unboxing. We'll open this up and, wait. The seal's already been... What? No, well, whoa. Okay, mate. Give me a second, guys. Oi! Get in here! Yes, now! Alright, guys. Sorry about that. We will remove... As you can see, it's just a regular PlayStation controller. This is, yeah, okay. Well, whatever. I may as well just show you guys now. So this is the Thrustmaster Eswap Pro Controller. As you can see, this is shaped almost like an Xbox One controller. Pretty similar in shape and size, I'd say. And definitely comes with a lot of the comfort features, I have to say. Removable grips, which you can click off at any time. You can pull out your joysticks, pretty smooth. And it also comes, and this is probably the best part, with a 1.5 meter braided, beautiful little controller wire, micro USB, that fits perfectly into the slot. So you can literally, anytime you're playing, oh, what's that, goes in that way, sweet, you can just force it in and it comes out perfectly. So, quick review from me. The one thing I do like about it is it feels super responsive when you're playing in game. The clicking, you know that if you get a click out of it, you get a decent response. The actual comfort of the joysticks is very similar to a regular PlayStation controller, but a lot less slip, which I find to be quite useful. You also get the click in the D-pad, which is pretty decent. And the fact that you can actually replace the triggers, so your R2 and L2s, with a small screwdriver, which you do get in this pack, as I don't have it on me right now, and it is also used for removing the D-pad. So essentially what I'm using at the moment is I just play with it in the regular setup. So the only reason I play with it on a regular setup is because I find, for me, having the Xbox style of the joystick up here just doesn't work for my Rocket League playstyle. I like to have everything down low and allows me to keep a full range of motion on the controller itself. Not to mention, we do also have 4 buttons on the bottom, which you can bind to any 4 keys you want. If you're trying to play one-handed, maybe you're a fighting games player, you can get the fighting game kit, which has an extra couple of buttons here, as well as extended joysticks if you do so wish. But in that sense, you can then play with these buttons, and I just can't get enough of it. What I'll do now is I'll take you guys through the Thrustmaster software, and we'll see how we go from there. Right, guys, here we are in the Thrustmaster Thrustmapper. This is essentially where you can set up all of the keybinds, all of the, I suppose, essential actions of the Thrustmaster Eswap controller. As you can see, the buttons on the bottom are pretty easy to remap, essentially linking up between whatever you actually want them to do. I prefer to play on profile number 2. These are actually just default. I've yet to actually find a need to fully customize this, for the simple fact that I'm so used to playing Rocket League with the controls that I already have. However, I do find that the ability to, especially as someone who uses L1 to air roll, I find that the ability to just click underneath my controller if my hand slips or if I have any issues is so much easier to get an air roll going, especially if you're going to start reversing. So that's a pretty simple side of that. Having a look at the mini sticks, you can consider and change every little factor around the dead zone, no matter how tiny you want it to be. Change up how you want your small and medium movements to feel, as well as large movements in that sense. You can obviously configure right the way between both your right and left sticks, each one. So maybe you don't want to have a massive dead zone on your right mini stick. You just drag that on down. You just knock it up. Extend maybe your medium. It'll lower down your large ones, and then you get a much more accurate setting through the middle. I'll just reset that because I don't, like I said, I play on default at the moment. Having a look at the triggers, you can configure the dead zone on both of these as well. As you can see, it just moves up, changes up a little bit. You can drop this all the way, so you won't even get a response until you're halfway through. So if you're not too sure, if you want to make sure that the action that you're doing is 100%, you can easily control right down to the last little millimeter, essentially, of how far you want that trigger to go. And then, in the terms of vibration, just a nice little bit of clicking. So, I know a lot of people that don't use vibration. However, if you want a low form of vibration, as in just a little hint that something is happening, you know, you can change it up. Maybe you want to know when something's coming more from the left, less from the right. I suppose this also helps if, for instance, you are hearing impaired, or possibly maybe you're not wearing headphones. Maybe the game sense tells you via vibration. Then this is definitely the area for you. Maybe you don't want it over the top. But either way, that's a quick view of the Thrustmaster Thrust Mapper. Maybe I'll throw a little bit of gameplay in now. Click the link in the description to pre-order your Eswap Pro Controller right now.